Alright guys, welcome back. So this is going to be a quick one. I'm sick of saying that. Anyway, so we're going to be looking at Jewelcrafting. Before we get into it, I hope you like the new room, the new layout. So I'm going to be using this for, well, the foreseeable future until I get bored and start doing something again. But yeah, I hope you like it. So if you don't know already, I stream over on Twitch. Up on the wall, you can see my username, so ScottyJ87. I'll also put a link in the description. Come over and check me out. I'm streaming most nights. Obviously, I travel a fair bit for work, but but the schedule's always updated, so you'll know when you can find me live. So jewel crafting is going to be quite an easy one. It's one of my personal favourite professions, actually, because it's quite RNG, a lot of gambling, if you like, involved. Which, again, if you watch me streaming, you know I'm quite into that. So why is it first? If you don't know, jewel crafting was obviously added in TBC. Brand new profession, wasn't in Classic. And the purpose of it is for customizable gear. So you can put gems of your choosing into sockets in your gear. Which, apologies, if I'm teaching you how to suck eggs, but some of you might have only played Classic, not played any further than Classic. Maybe, you've just returned to the game after a long break and you forgot, who knows. But basically, you've got all the primary stats you would expect, so strength gems, agility gems, but then you've also got hybrid gems. So you might have like 4 agility, 4 hit. These are the blue, lots of the rare quality gems. And the way you get these is by prospecting. So as a jewel crafter, you get a prospecting ability. So you'll have, let's say you've got a full stack of adamantite ore. So you've got 20. You consume 5 of those ores for a chance to get, green gems, blue gems, some dust if you're doing adamantite, which you use for other things such as necks, rings, etc. And the reason I say it's quite RNG and a bit gambling, it's quite nice because you don't actually need mining with it. So obviously you'll make loads of gold because it's all pure profit if you run around a mine and then prospect. But you can just buy. You just buy the ore off the auction house. If it's in a reasonable price, you prospect it. So you're going to get 4 prospects out of a full stack. Let's just go in by private server prices at the moment. So let's say a stack of adamantite is about 18 gold, 16 to 18 gold. 1 red crafted gem is 40 to 45. So literally, if you get lucky from 1 stack, you can over double your money just from getting 1 gem. That's not including the greens that you'll get. Maybe you might get an orange gem, which again, they're quite expensive normally as well, 20, 25 gold. So always more expensive than the ore. So it's quite a good way of making money if you like a bit of a gamble. You can also, a lot of uncut gems for some reason. So you could buy the red gems, which are obviously cheaper to buy the raw red gem than it is the crafted gem. So you can just buy loads and probably make 5 to 7 gold on each gem. Obviously, servers are going to vary quite a lot, and when it's Classic TBC, who knows? The uncut gems might be more expensive than the cut gems, but I highly doubt it. The personal benefits. So obviously, when you pick up a crafting profession, you're really doing it for personal. What personal benefit are you getting from it? If you're level working, you're going to get to craft a decent set and bring drums. If you go enchanting, you're going to get the ring enchants, which are big. They're giving you extra stats that you wouldn't have if you didn't have this profession. Jewel crafting completely depends on what itemization patch we go into. So in Classic TBC, I presume it's going to be 2.4.3 itemization because anything before that was pretty poor. So you'll have access to the big personal gems because they got introduced in 2.2. And they was with a faction that already, factions that already existed in the game. So there would be no reason that they wasn't in if we was on a 2.4.3 itemization. Same goes for like engineering. We haven't covered engineering. That's going to be the last one. But the heads, you go engineering to craft the heads. Also, it's got other uses, but we'll cover that in the video. But if we was to go in at 2.0 itemization, like what Karazhan, the server Karazhan that I'm playing on at the moment, what that's on, you're going to get no personal benefit from being jewel crafting other than the ability to make gold. You do get access to trinkets, a semi-decent trinket. You've got ones that give attack power, spell power. They're just pretty generic, but the on-use ability are generally fairly pointless. So yeah, it is going to wholly depend on what itemization patch we go into. But as I say, I reckon it'll be 2.4.3, in which case you'll be able to craft these big gems that I'll put on screen now. So this is where you will get your personal stat increase from being a jewel crafter, as well as then the ability to make decent amounts of gold and everything else. Another thing, which is quite big, and it's big not just for you if you decided to go jewel crafting, but it's big for everybody basically, is some of the decent meta gems are not in 2.0 itemization either. So for example, the Relentless Earthstorm Diamond, which is 3% crit damage, that didn't get brought into the game until later on as well. I think that was 2.1. as well as like some decent spell power ones as well with the crit damage. You're going to be struggling for meta gems, but people are still going to want meta gems because you've got like 24 attack power and movement speed, for example. That's decent. That's what I'm using on my rogue at the moment. But overall, you know, they're pretty poor. But what I would pair dual crafting with is alchemy. And somebody said this in the comments on one of the other videos, actually, one of these other profession videos, and they've got a really good point. So let's say on your main you was dual crafting for the big gems and just being able to prospect and make some gold, and then you was level working for drums, which you've heard me talk about in every single profession video. Then your alt might be alchemy, maybe herbalism as well, but not really required, I would say. Reason being, if dual crafting, you want an alchemist who's transmute master, so you can transmute, obviously, the Earthstorm Diamond, which is the uncut meta gem, or you've got the other one as well that you can craft, but let's just work with Earthstorm Diamond for now. You can, you know, transmute that on your transmute master, possibly get a proc, and now these meta gems are going to sell for big amounts of gold. So now let's say you get a proc and you get a couple, you can send them over and you're looking at probably 400 gold-ish just from having these two professions and using their cooldowns. It's really, really lucrative. Like I said, everybody's going to probably be level working, or anyone who's min-maxing, taking it really seriously, wanting to, you know, bring the 5% haste for their guild will probably be level working. What class would you be a dual crafter as? Honestly, any. There's I wouldn't say dual crafting is better for, you know, one spec over another spec. It's brilliant for everything. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be going dual crafting. Some other interesting things that get added, which, you know, again, depending on itemization, is brilliant glass, which is a daily cooldown, which you just use some random green gems. So all the gems you're getting from prospecting, obviously you can then use those to make a brilliant glass, which you then open. It's just like a container, and it might have, you know, blue gems. When the epic gems are available, it's got a chance of having epic gems in as well. That didn't come out till 2.3. You may get a chance to get them out of the brilliant glass. You know, that who knows? I would imagine that would be something, even if brilliant glass was in the game from the beginning, they would probably not allow epic gems until later tier releases. So the epic gems come with tier 6 raids, so Hyjal specifically, which probably won't be available at release, but you'll be able to, you know, you might be able to get it, the epic gems from brilliant glass from day one. Who knows? You know, I would imagine not. I would imagine, you know, that brilliant glass recipe will either only give blue gems, and then they'll add the chance to give epic when sort of tier 6 raids open, or it will be available from the start. Highly unlikely, you know. In my opinion, they shouldn't be. But if they was, you can start stockpiling them ready for when you're in tier 6, which that's good as well. So there's also some decent rings and necks and things like that you can make some good gold on. Some of them are actually really decent. So from later tiers, you can get BOE recipes, which you can sell on the auction house, obviously, but the actual item that's crafted will be bind on pickup, but it'll have quite a low map requirement due to the recipes coming from raids, obviously. But as I say, this was never going to be very long, because let's face it, you make gems, you make rings, you make necks, you can make some trinkets. The trinkets do get good. Another thing worth mentioning when we're talking about trinkets, so they get a lot better when we get Sunwell. So when we get into the last patch and Shattered Sun Offensive rep opens, where you get a daily island, Isla Quodanis, you'll have access to that reputation to unlock different things, and new recipes came in for all professions. And then you're starting to get epic quality trinkets, which they're better. They're still not amazing, don't get me wrong, but let's say you was leveling an alt and you're in the Sunwell patch, you know, you can make yourself, if you go dual crafting on your alt, you can make yourself a reasonably decent trinket that you're probably not going to be able to get better from without raiding 25 man. So all in all, solid profession, solid choice. I love dual crafting, can't recommend it enough. As I say, I think I'm actually going to level dual crafting myself. So I want to go engineering. You know, my heart's telling me engineering, but yeah, I really do like dual crafting. So I've left my two personal favourite professions until last. So the next one we're going to do is engineering, and that's going to be quite long. And I say it's going to be quite long purely because there is so much to talk about. We really need to even talk a little bit about some of the classic recipes that are still going to be useful. So as I said before, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe. There'll be loads of TBC content coming from now all the way up to release and beyond. And then, you know, jump over to Twitch. As I say, username's up there, ScottyJ87. Come give me a follow. You know, hang with us. You'll probably enjoy it. We have a good laugh. Lots of TBC content on the channel. So, yeah, until the next one, which will be engineering. And I aim to get that out Saturday. Peace out.